Have you ever noticed something strange? In a crowded room full of loud voices, endless opinions, and constant noise, the quietest person often turns out to be the most powerful. The one who barely speaks, the one who listens more than they talk, the one people sometimes misunderstand as shy, weak, or even boring. But years later, something surprising happens. That silent person builds the business, writes the book, leads the company, changes the world. So the question is, why do silent people often become the most successful? Today, we'll explore the hidden strengths behind silence and why the quiet ones often win in the long run. 1. Silent people observe more than others. Most people are busy talking. They interrupt, they explain, they try to prove their point. But silent people do something very different. They observe. They watch how people behave. They notice body language. They see patterns others completely miss. While everyone else is focused on speaking, the quiet person is gathering information, and information is power. Think about it like this. When you talk too much, you reveal your strategy. But when you stay quiet, you learn everyone else's. Successful people understand this secret very well. Sometimes silence is not weakness. It is intelligence in disguise. 2. They think before they speak. Another powerful trait of silent people is deep thinking. Many people speak immediately. They react quickly. They say things they regret later. But quiet people pause. They analyze. They reflect. They process information carefully. This habit allows them to make better decisions. And success in life often depends on decisions. A rushed decision can destroy years of hard work, but a thoughtful decision can build an empire. Silent people understand that words have weight. That's why when they finally speak, people actually listen, because their words are rare and meaningful. 3. They avoid unnecessary drama. Loud environments often create conflict. Arguments, egos, competition, people fighting to prove who is smarter, stronger, or more important. But silent people usually stay away from this noise. They don't waste energy arguing about small things. They don't chase attention. Instead, they focus on what truly matters: their goals, their work, their growth. While others are distracted by drama, the quiet person is building something meaningful. And over time, that focus creates success. 4. They build deep knowledge. Talking gives the illusion of intelligence, but learning requires silence. When someone is always speaking, they cannot truly listen. But silent people spend more time absorbing knowledge. They read more. They research more. They think deeply about ideas. Over time, this creates something powerful: expertise. The quiet student often becomes the smartest person in the room, not because they tried to show off, but because they spent years learning quietly. Success is rarely loud during the process. It is usually built in silence. 5. They control their emotions better. Another hidden advantage of silent individuals is emotional control. People who speak impulsively often react emotionally. Anger, frustration, jealousy. These emotions can destroy opportunities. But silent individuals usually pause before reacting. They take time to think. They avoid saying things that can damage relationships or careers. This emotional discipline makes them appear calm, wise, and trustworthy. And trust is one of the most valuable currencies in the world. Leaders are often trusted not because they talk the most, but because they remain composed when everyone else loses control. 6. People respect mystery. There is something fascinating about quiet individuals. Mystery. When someone talks constantly, people quickly understand everything about them. But when someone speaks rarely, people become curious. They wonder what that person is thinking. They pay closer attention when they finally speak. This creates a natural form of influence. Silent people often command respect without demanding it. Their presence alone carries weight because silence makes their words valuable. 7. They focus on results, not attention. In today's world, many people chase attention, social media likes, recognition, approval. But success does not come from attention, it comes from results. Silent people often care less about applause and more about progress. They work quietly. They improve their skills. They build their dreams step by step. And one day, the results speak louder than words ever could. Suddenly, the world notices them. But by that time, the silent person has already done the hard work. 8. Silence builds inner strength. Being quiet in a noisy world is not easy. Society often pressures people to speak more, show more, and prove themselves constantly. But silent individuals develop a powerful quality, inner strength. They become comfortable with their own thoughts. They don't need constant validation from others. They trust their path. And this independence allows them to take risks others are too afraid to take, because their confidence comes from within, not from outside approval. 9. History proves it. If you look through history, you'll notice something interesting. Many highly successful individuals were known for being quiet thinkers rather than loud speakers. They spent more time observing, reflecting, and creating. Their ideas changed industries. Their inventions shaped the future. Their leadership transformed nations. And yet, many of them were not the loudest voices in the room. They were simply the most thoughtful. 10. Silence is not weakness. Unfortunately, silence is often misunderstood. Quiet people are sometimes labeled as shy, antisocial, or unconfident. But silence does not mean weakness. Sometimes silence means self-control, intelligence, awareness, patience. A lion does not roar every minute, but when it does, everyone listens. So if you are a quiet person, if you prefer listening over speaking, if you enjoy thinking deeply instead of arguing loudly, there is nothing wrong with you. In fact, your silence might be your greatest strength. Because while the world is busy making noise, you are busy building something meaningful. While others are seeking attention, you are developing wisdom. And one day, the same people who overlooked you will wonder how you became so successful. They will ask for your advice. They will want to hear your words. And that is when they will realize something important. The quiet ones were never weak. They were simply preparing in silence for a life that speaks louder than words.